Crafters. My name is Marie Ressler, and today I would like to just share with you what you can do with some DSP paper and some tape. And I want to share a very special little book I made for my granddaughter for Christmas this year. Since you have to stay home because of COVID, sometimes just a homemade gift is a better gift than going out and buying something, and you're safer. So let's get started. So I'm going to start out with just showing you the Sale-a-bration flyer and the mini catalog that are coming out in June and January to June. And this one is from January to February. And the reason I'm showing you this is because some of the items I'm using today are out of these. Now I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you the product that I have. So if you have these, grab them and I will tell you the page numbers that I'm working out of. And if you don't have one, just let me know and I'll be happy to send one to you. So this is a book I want to show you. All I used was DSP paper and whatever random stamps I wanted to use. And in this case, I used the Fine Arts Floral set out of the Occasions catalog, or out of the mini catalog, which is on page 32 to 34. It comes with, or you can buy it with the dies, and it's so you can bundle it. All right. I also used the DSP, the Fine Arts Floral DSP. And you're going to get a couple sheets of each, but I'm just going to show you the one. This is what I used. I actually used a whole pack of Designer Series paper to do this project. Or almost a whole pack. And this is the back side. Okay. So here's the book again, and it's kind of big. I had a great time making this. So I used the Just Want to Say dies from the Fine Arts bundle that I showed you earlier, this one. And I'm just going to show you the pages real quick and how to do this. And then I'm going to show you how to put it together. So this is the first page I created, and I made pockets here. So these just kind of come in and go in and out of the pockets. Again, I used like the embossing folder that I had and some sayings from different sets. So here's another one, this little tag that comes out. And here's that beautiful DSP paper, and this here I raised it up. I stamped it, die cut it, and raised it up. Then I created a page right here. And then, of course, you have to have a family page. And then here's another tag that I created that comes out of it. These are just little pockets. More family. This page I created was just for her. Some of the things that she likes to do. And again, this is a pocket. So when I created this pocket, I'm going to tell you I just put tape around the bottom portion right here, but not in the center when I glued the pages together. And then this one here, she's kind of a really big deal, especially to her brother. She's the big sister. It's not always easy being the siblings, but they sure love each other. And then this one here. And I put a little thing right here. I did a whole lot of Google searching on brother quotes and friends quotes and maybe just inspirational quotes. So I love this one here. It says, the greatest gift your parents gave you was each other. And then this one here is just another pocket with some pictures. An embossing folder. And then this paper right here is a different one that is in a catalog, the main catalog. So you can pull other things in. You can pull in anything that you have yourself. This page here, I just kind of found some quotes, and then I did like this one right here. It says, be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. And I just try to do different things that I thought she would like. And then these are her pets. And then this one here, I used the rainbow paper. I love this one, and I used an alphabet set that says, don't forget where you come from. And again, it's a quote I found online, or off of Google. So here's another one that says, but don't lose sight on where you are going. Her parents let her drive on the beach, which is a good place to teach them. And then again, here's some friends and then some quotes. And then here's a little pocket right here with a little tag about friendship. Some more friends. And then here's a little tag right here. It's just our little 3x3 envelopes, and I just touched it in there. More friends. Friends are always important to a 13-year-old. And then this is my favorite page. I'm just saying, and it's just different quotes that I have gotten. So the just saying is the same one as I showed you on the front, but the IN I added onto the saying. So the kids always say that. So right here it says just wanted to say. So I took the wanted and said use the just say, and then I took the W and the A and I cut off this portion of it, and then I cut off the T, and then I added this IN to the end of this, and that's how I got that word. And then the very last page is this one. It has a little pocket on the side. These are some things that were important to her as she was growing up. And then this one right here. And I love this one. It says, life is like a camera. Just focus on what's important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, just take another shot. It's important for anybody at this point with COVID and everything, and everybody having to be home. It's really important that they know that it's okay. Life isn't easy, but it's okay. We can get through it all. And then, of course, underneath here, I wrote another one, another little quote. But I wanted her to know that it's okay that life isn't always what we expect it to be. And because it's Christmas, I wanted to give her a gift that I didn't have to go out and buy. So, handmade. So, let's get started on how I made that book. All you're going to need, seriously, is DSP paper. I used a little bit of Whisper White cardstock. You can make this as thick or as thin as you want this book to be. And then, so this one right here is, I'll tell you how I did this, how I decided what size this had to be in just a second, okay? But I want to glue this down first because I want it to dry while we do the book. So I used thick Whisper White cardstock for this. This is the binding on the side, the binding part that I'm going to put on the back. And then the DSP paper. And this is 1.5 by 8.5. And I scored every 1/2 inch on here. And the same with the DSP paper, which is actually just the back side of this one right here. So we're going to glue these down really quick. So let's get some glue on here. I want this one to dry while we were creating the book. And I'm just going to stick them together. And because you're using liquid glue, you can wiggle it around until you get it where you want it to be. Okay, so we're just going to set it aside and let it dry. Alright, and then what I did is I cut my DSP at 5.5 by 8.5 for the cover. This is a chipboard. You get these in different types of paper that we use. It's the backing that they send to us, so that's part of it. So what you're going to do really is just tape this on here, like this, or glue it on. This is going to be the front of the book. So we're going to do that really quick. And most of the time I use this little end of the glue, but for this it's actually kind of nice to just use this big end. So we're going to just put some glue on here. I don't do this big end very often, but for this book it works really nice because you can just kind of smear it. So there is a good purpose for that big old fat end of that glue stick, or that liquid glue. And then I'm just going to put the cover on. You know, one of the things I'm going to do is pop my glasses on real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to spread that out, make it dry really good. Now this is going to be the front of the book. Alright, we're just going to set it aside and let it dry. I put the other thing you're going to need is tear and tape. It's really important to use tear and tape on the spine portion of the book. So I just stuck a strip right here, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the next thing I did was I used our DSP paper, And this is 11 by 8.5, and then I just scored it right down the center, which makes it 5.5. So it's going to be like this on the book. Just see? I just scored it right in half. And then I put a piece of tape right here. And we're just going to remove this one right here. And again, we're going to use this fat end of this glue, this liquid glue, and we're going to just smear it all over. Again, it's really important that the spine portion of your book has tear and tape. So make sure you put tear and tape on that. Okay. And because I want this to be not seen, I'm going to use this for the cover part. So I'm going to turn this way. Here's the tear and tape, that's the spine, and I'm going to put this right here on the binder, or on the page. Alright, and then I can, like I said, I can wiggle it and get it where I want. Make sure it's covered. Alright, and you have this perfectly great little first page of your book. So simple, it's really simple. Just the cover, the chipboard, and this page right here. Right? And then you can put tear and tape here if you wanted to, but I actually stuck it on this one. One of the things that's really important is when you're deciding which pages you want, watch the direction of your design and how you want it to be. Do you want it to go this way, however you want it. And as when you're cutting it. So this one doesn't really much matter. It's kind of a random one. And then this one here is this one. But you see, I don't want it to be this way. I want my flowers to go. So I want to make sure your design is to go in the direction you want it to do. This one here, do you want it to go this way? Or do you want your design to be this way? So that's what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's back up a bit. So this one is taped down, or glued down. Then here's one that has the tape on it again. We're just going to peel it off. And we're going to put this one down on top of this one. Make sure this is your opening, so don't tape that on the wrong side. Now you're going to notice this has got to be taped too. So again, liquid glue. So you're gluing your pages together. So here's my page. Make sure you can wiggle them. Like I said, you can wiggle them still. You can always go back and trim as well. Like here's a little bit of tear and tape. I'll go back and I'll trim that off. And here's the next page. See? And here again, here's the tape. I'm going to turn it sideways. Let's do it this way this time. Let's put the glue on here first. Just kind of get your edges really good. So basically, like I said, DSP paper and a little bit of glue, some chipboard, and you can create a really cool little book. This book can be, like I did, an inspirational book, or it can be a cookbook even. You can make cookie recipes in here if you wanted to give it to somebody. It could be just a quick little photo book for someone. Let's see, what else could you use? You can do one for somebody that has a pet. Let's say they have a pet that they lost or something. They can do one for a pet. You can do a quick little baby book for somebody. But they really are wonderful and easy to make. And like I said, it can be however many pages you want it to be. So let's get this one in. And again, this one's going to go right on top of that. Just line up your spine on the book. Make sure it's good and straight. on this book I used one sheet of the, what is it, Paper Bloom DSP, and I'll tell you about that one in a minute. It's on page 45, has a coordinating stamp set in the mini catalog. But this one here, the paper I'm going to show you that I'm using, is on page 3, and it's free. It's free with a $50 order. And during Sale-a-bration, which starts January 5th for everyone. So another one, take the tape off. The hardest thing you're going to do about this book is picking out which paper you want to use. But we all have stacks of DSP paper. So this one is a really good way to use up your paper. Okay, more glue. My fingers are getting sticky though. And then here again, there's one more page on there. Make sure it's lined up on the spine. Okay, last one. This is the thing about this book. So when you put this last one on here, onto the other piece of chipboard that you have for the backing of your book, when you have this last one, you're going to glue it to here, so you cannot add any more pages after you put it to here. So make sure you have all the pages you want in here. So let's go back to the front. Here's the front of the book. Here's the page that we glued. Here's one page. Is this not the cutest idea? Shelley Gardner showed us how to do this book for on stage for demonstrators, and I wanted to create that one for my granddaughter. How simple is this? All that DSP paper you have stacked up, it will work wonders for this. So now we're going to put it onto the backing of this one. So here we are going to, again, put more glue. On here. Isn't that wonderful that fat end is of this? Now you're going to take off this last one. My fingers are getting sticky though. I'm trying to hurry. And now this one here, oh, there's a piece right here. I doubled it on this one. I'm going to turn this sideways, so I'm going to put it, so I'm working from the spine again. Put that on the spine and get it all nice and straight. Okay, now there's my book. All right. And this last sheet I have is another single sheet. Again, it's 5.5 by 8.5 for just a single sheet, which is the back of your book. So it matches the one on the front, so we're a little more glue on here. Alrighty, let's get this one smeared all over. The fat end does make it easy and quick of the liquid glue. This is the spine one. Again, make sure you're going in the direction you want it to be. And because it's liquid glue, you can wiggle it around. Okay. Flip it over. Pressing. Basically, that's all there is to making one of these books. And then the rest of it is just your creativity. But putting the book together itself is simple. You can just, like I said, really, really, really simple. Now, I hope you guys enjoy making these, because I sure did. I just loved making the one for my granddaughter. So this is an easy one. This would be a small one for a pet, maybe a pet pictures in it or something. That would be great. Now, remember the spine that we did? So what I did was I measured my spine itself, and it was just like a half, it's like not quite a half an inch. It's more like a little less than a half an inch. But you want a little bit of leeway with it. So you can see that. So you don't want it to be real tight. So what you're going to do here, and this is what's really important. When you're doing these, especially with the book that I did, you want this spine part right here That's why there's tear and tape on this portion of the folds, because you want these to hold together. When I was creating Amelia's book, right here, when I was doing these, I was using just liquid glue, and I had to keep going back and gluing these back down. So that's why I said you need to use the tear and tape to hold these together really good. All right, so here's your spine. And again, you can just use liquid glue on this portion because it's not that bad. And liquid glue really does hold well. So, of course, now I'm on the little end because I have a little more control on where I want my glue to be. Because I don't want it to be on the middle part, just on the end, on that first half inch score. I'm going to put glue here and on the outside of both of those because those are going to be on the spine. So I'm just going to put it. I usually do it just like this. I just kind of set it right down on that. Follow the score line that I have on there. And because it's liquid glue, I can shift it around a bit if I need to. And then just kind of hold it. And then I'm going to put glue right on this portion of it. All right. And then, again, I'm just going to put it on there, on that one. Let's do it this way. Open the book so I can hold it on there. Probably needed a couple more pages in this one, but that's okay because you can bend the spine out like this. And then hold it, get that glue on there. Like I said, the liquid glue will hold it. So then you have your spine of your book. Give it a good creasing. I could have added more pages to this one, but you'll get the idea. So there again. There's your book. So, the paper I used for to make that little book real quick is this one here. So these are the sheets. You're going to get 2 sheets of each one of these. And I just use 1 sheet to do the book. Okay. And then this is the back side of it. And again, this is free paper, 12 by 12 paper, starting in January when you do a Sale-a-bration order. Okay, and then on this one here again, I'm going to come back to this. This is 5 layers. I cut this 5 times and then layered it on top of each other and then glued it down. So that's 5 layers thick to get that to pop up off the book. And then you can add your own pockets and stuff and get creative with it. And these here, you can add your own little pockets too. Like I said, and when you're gluing your pages together, just don't put glue in the center of this one. Just do the tear and tape around the outside edges. And then you'll have that extra pocket. And I punched it with a punch, just like a 1 3/4 or a 2-inch punch, whatever you want to use. And again, create whatever you want to let your layout you want it to be. All right. Add the pockets as you choose on the side or on the bottom. Just get really, really creative with your book, and whoever gets this is going to love it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make lots of these little books, memory books, or whatever you want to call them, for whoever, all those little people that you love in your life that are stuck at home right now. You could even make a COVID book. It would be kind of fun with everybody's in all their masks and stuff. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.